Alright, so my previous tutorial I showed you how to edit strings, and I'm going to show you how to get infinite health God mode, edit player names, and how to find people's health address, as well as their base client address. So we're going to change this to a 4 byte, and we're going to search for ammo, so let's wait till we spawn in here. Okay, so once we spawn in, I can show you. Let's go ahead and switch class actually, I don't want a gun with one bullet. So we got a gun with 40 ammo, or 40 bullets in the clip, so we're going to go ahead and do a first scan and pause the game while scanning. Alright, so there's a lot of results, so we're going to shoot a few times, and then search for 35. And there's 3 addresses, so we're going to shoot again and try to lower the amount. And it's only decreasing by 1, so that's okay. We're just going to go ahead and go manually through each one, so you just double click on them and add it to the list. I would go with the green ones first, but I know for a fact that it's this one, so for the sake of this tutorial and saving time, I'm going to go ahead and pick this. So the way that you would test it, I'm going to just go ahead and show you now on the address that I know is correct. You see I have 34 ammo, I'm going to change this to 55, and boom, it's 55. So we know this is the right address, right? So we're going to do a new scan, just get rid of it. And we're going to name this primary ammo clip. Holy shit, I can't type. And we're going to go ahead and find our reserve ammo. So we're going to right click on it, click browse in region, and then we're going to shoot and reload. And as you can see, it turns red whenever I shoot. So you scrub a little bit more, and we need to find reload. There it is. So this should be our reserve ammo. Let's go ahead and add this to the list and name it primary ammo reserve. Change it to a 4 byte. And then close this. And it's 107, so we should be able to change it to 222. Yep, okay, it's fine. And now I'm going to show you how to get infinite ammo. So let's try to turn this to a negative number. And see I get a really big number that's positive. Same here. And this is automatic gun. I'm holding left click and it's just tap firing. It's pretty slow. I'm going to reload and it just fucks my ammo. Okay, so I'm going to change this back to a regular number. And I'm going to change this back to a regular number. And we're going to right click on it and we're going to find out what access its address. Click yes. Now, if your game freezes when you do this, you can go to your settings and go to debug options. I use VEH. You might need to use mostly bugger, but most COD games VEH is the best thing to use. So, let's see, these are constant moving. We don't need these, so we're gonna shoot, and you see we get 5 results, right? Now, you see a compare between 2 operands. You can read that here. Copy memory, and this is also an add, right? So whenever you shoot your gun, it subtracts it from your clip. So we're probably gonna go with this one. So we're gonna show us the simpler, and we're gonna right click and replace the code as nothing, aka not. And see, I'm holding left click, and I'm not losing any ammo. So select what you want. I'm gonna start the original code, and if I change this from subtract to add, I'll actually gain ammo whenever I shoot. So yeah, but I'm gonna go ahead and change this back to sub, and then the same applies essentially for reserve ammo. So I'm gonna right click and find out what access this address. I'm gonna reload. Alright, so we get 2 results here. And we can add. So between copy memory and add, I'm gonna reload your gun. It adds ammo to your clip, right? So I feel like this is the most plausible answer. And we're just gonna replace this code as nothing. Reload, and as you see, my reserve ammo change and also increments my my clip. Right. So let's go ahead and find our health. Now, on most COD games, your health is going to be 100, unless specified otherwise, or if your game specifies what your health is, that's great. Go ahead and search for that value. But for most COD games, it should be 100. If not, you can do an unknown initial value and then search for decreased health and increased health. So we're gonna set some key buttons here. We're gonna go to hotkeys. My increased value is up arrow on my keyboard because it makes sense to me. Decrease value is down, change value is right arrow, and then unchanged value is left arrow. So to set those keybinds, you're going to take some damage. Since I already know my health, I'm going to go ahead and do exact value. But if you don't know your health, then do an unknown initial scan first. So I'm going to search for my health. Make sure you pause the game while scanning. Alright, I'm gonna take damage. I'm gonna do a decrease value and wait for my health to regenerate a little bit. Then I'm gonna do an increase value. Alright, so I have 60 results now, and since we already have a reference to our player info, we see that it starts with 144. Let's go ahead and try this one, since this one looks the closest to the getter addresses. Let's change this to a negative number. And that one's not it, so let's try the one below it maybe. Alright, so as you see my screen is a really weird color. I'm gonna go ahead and try to kill myself. Now if I'm on top of this, it should kill me, but as you see it didn't kill me. I'm gonna jump off the map. And it is not killing me. So we have the right address here. We go ahead and delete the previous address, and we're gonna name this our health address. I'm gonna go ahead and back out now and add bots to the game to show you how to find their health address from the health address that you just got, as well as their base address, and as well as the player names. Right, so I want to find all the clients, so I'm gonna add in 9 enemy bots and 8 friendly bots. That way it's 9v9, and 18 clients is the max for this game. Alright, so I'm gonna go ahead and spawn in and wait for the countdown. I'm gonna go ahead and reconcile if I don't access this address. You can see you get a lot of results here. We don't need those because I'm not taking damage. Now there is a delay, but I'm pretty sure I can take damage off the start. Ooh, when the game's laggy. Alright, cool. So now we see a subtract, and since it does subtract for our health, we're gonna assume that this is the right one. And if we go ahead and right click on it and click replace with code, it does nothing. No one should be able to take damage now, right? So I'm gonna try to kill myself. And it looks like I take damage, but I didn't. Alright, so we're gonna shoot the enemy, and she is not dying. I'm just gonna shut up close. And he's knifing me, and that's an instant kill. So yeah, if I go ahead and sort of code, people should be dying now. I should die. Right? But we don't have anybody's address, so I'm gonna right click and find out addresses this instruction accesses. And we're gonna wait till all 18 clients take damage. I'm gonna give myself damage here. Alright, so now we're gonna wait until that number turns into 18, and then I'll be back. Alright, so now we have all 18 clients. We can click stop, and we're gonna hold shift, click on the first one, go scroll all the way down, hold shift, click on the last one, right click and open dissect data with select addresses, click new window, click OK, and we're gonna name the structure health, and you click yes, OK, and we're gonna look for an address that represents our health. So just scroll down so we see a bunch of like 100s, or like, alright, so this one is definitely it. So we're making a new text document, and we're just gonna name it AW structure. Alright, and then you can note down each player's address, but I'm gonna go ahead and note down that health is equal to player base address plus the 0x1d0. How do I know that? Well, these are the base addresses, and from the base address it goes down to our offset 1d0. So let's assume this is mine. This number plus is 1d0 should equal my health address. Alright, so we're gonna save that, and I'm gonna show you how to find player names. So we're gonna change this to a string after closing all of this, and we're gonna look for, let's look for justice. Okay, search for justice, first scan. There's 250 results, and there's no way of like minimizing it, so we're just gonna look for the 144. What's closest to 144? We get like 3 addresses here, so we're just gonna add those to the list, and we're just gonna change each one. All right, so I'm gonna change his name to a 3 in front, And I see my first address is the right address. So we can go ahead and delete these. And just name this a player's name or some shit. I don't know. This isn't very important, but so let's change this name to I don't know, fucking my Twitter handle again. As you see, get our names, my name, and what I mentioned earlier about the name cons or being within the parameter. If I exceed the parameter, this is how it's gonna look. Yeah, so you see it's bugging out. Sometimes it won't show a name at all. Sometimes it'll it's like default, or sometimes it'll just like go to some random. But yeah, that's what happens if you exceed it on here. So I'm gonna change this back. And yeah, that concludes this tutorial.